Oh wow, so I've been using the camera wrong all this time? Really? Now suddenly it's HD and I'm all zoomed in, my face is all zoomed in? Oh well. So all I did is I just rotate the camera and it looks better and clear. Anyways, doesn't really matter. I'm here actually testing Gates to Sovngarde, the mod list. But today I won't focus much on Skyrim, the game. I just want to update you guys on a couple of things that happened and health update and another couple of other topics that I want to talk about. But yeah, I started the radiotherapy and I had to do some kind of a simulation or a testing. That was kind of unusual and a little bit awkward for me, but it all went well. Well, basically I had to do another CT scan, even though I did a CT scan a couple of months ago. And they kind of had to determine the location of the tumor in my chest. And yeah, I had to lay down like a certain position with my arms up holding for about half an hour. It was very uncomfortable. And they were like marking me and even like injecting me some semi-permanent tattoos. They mark some exact spots on my chest. So now when I go back and do radiotherapy every morning, they will know exactly where to point the laser. And that's probably what's going to be for the next few weeks. And so I'll be busy with that. But it's really, really smooth, actually. You know, the staff here in hospitals is just so amazing, really. The way they treat me. And I actually I'm going to another hospital. It's not the one I usually go. But it's actually even better because I have a direct bus from our estate right to the hospital. So it's about a half an hour ride. And, you know, I just sit down in the bus and I'm just gonna chill. I go into my zone. I enter some kind of like a Zen state. And I know I spent so much time in the hospitals. It's like a second home to me now. And I just don't rush. I just really zone out and I'm just reflecting and chilling, doing what I'm told to do, and that's it, really. Nothing to think about, to overthink, you know, overanalyze. If you have to do these kind of things, if you have to go to hospitals so often, sometimes you stay for hours, you better learn to deal with that, you know. If you're going to be anxious and, you know, impatient, if you just want to get down with it and go back home and do your stuff, you're just gonna stress and have anxiety nonstop. So you better learn to deal with it, right? That's some words of wisdom from Alec. But yeah, I mean, all jokes aside, again, the simulation went good. I'm gonna be doing radiotherapy, and the side effects won't be that, you know, extreme. Some fatigue, some sore throat, which I already have. So it's nothing different, really. But, you know, our goal is to stop this, you know, disease from spreading. And I'm overall doing good. But there's this one tumor in my lymph node that kind of doesn't react on the treatment. And there's some sign of progress. It's growing. So they're gonna focus the laser on that particular area, and we'll see how that goes. But I'm very optimistic. I'm very, you know, I'm feeling good. Yeah, but actually I want to talk about my most recent Skyrim video on the Karita, right? I kind of released it a few days ago. It's actually, I didn't expect to get so many views so fast. Like, I think I uploaded and I went to sleep and I woke up and there was already like almost 10,000 views overnight, which is more than, you know, average for me. So I was very surprised. But usually when you get more than you know than average attention to one of your videos, it means there's gonna be more chaos. And I just want to address two types of comments that I received on that video. It's kind of funny, actually. So a lot of people commented on my mod list, that I'll be using for the analysis videos for Skyrim. And the last few videos were done in Alpine, which is like one of my personal favorite mod lists, at least visually, right? And a lot of comments were like, oh, this is a great mod list, I really like the look. But then there's a certain percentage of people who are really, really bothered by the fact that I use, overall, I'm really lucky, I guess, in that sense, because this community we have on the Borean Night channel, it's very, very positive overall. Like, all of my videos have over 90%, like to dislike ratio. Like, they all received very positive. But every once in a while, I'll receive some criticisms, which actually, when they're like, when there's a good intention behind them, I actually love that. And, there were some criticisms in the past that actually helped me before I got, more experienced and everything. Yeah, there are people criticizing the video because of the mods. They say they couldn't recognize the characters, even though I think Karita doesn't look that different from the vanilla Karita, right? So I was thinking for a next Skyrim analysis video to go back to vanilla. And I have a mod list, it's called Skyrim 25, it's pretty new. It's basically vanilla visuals with some bug fixes and patches. So it's Skyrim as Todd Howard intended to be, right? So whatever my next Skyrim video will be, I'm probably gonna do that one. So it'll be more, more basic, more vanilla. And the irony is that I actually love vanilla Skyrim. I mean, I love modded Skyrims, some forms of modded Skyrim, not all. But it's not that I don't mind vanilla Skyrim, I actually enjoy it. Especially after playing for a while, some, heavily mod list. I love going back to vanilla and just, there's something about this raw, pure vanilla Skyrim. Seeing the trees and grass and rocks as they are supposed to, as the way Bethesda, imagined Skyrim to be. Regardless of what we think about it, right? Is it like simplified, or whatever? This is how Bethesda imagined Skyrim, and I love that. I love actually playing vanilla Skyrim. But I also enjoy some mod lists, like I said. Not every. Actually, I do have a kind of a hot take, I think. I think the most mod lists are actually trash. But you didn't hear that from me. And that's a maybe conversation for some other time. There's no such thing as a perfect Skyrim mod list. Unless you make it to suit your own preference, right? But I don't know really how to mod Skyrim. It's too huge, right? There are too many mods out there. I'm out of loop. And all the patches and everything, it's too complicated. So I learned to deal with some slight, things that I maybe don't like. I'm not that nitpicky anyways. So yeah, this is Gates to Sovngarde. I think the visuals are pretty nice. This is what I would consider like a vanilla style mod, where the landscape they don't like look too different. So yeah, that's one thing. You can never satisfy all the viewers, right? Like I said, a lot of people actually said they like my visuals and the way my Skyrim video look, and they want me to recommend the mods. But then there's a small percentage of people who really, really are bothered by it. And no matter what you do, you're never gonna satisfy everyone. I remember my Vigilant video, which is I think my second Skyrim video. I did that one in the pure vanilla because I didn't care really. And I think I've got some comments on that video about, oh man, I forgot how ugly vanilla Skyrim is, and those kind of things. So you see, whatever you choose, there will be some people who will complain. Which is, there's so many people out there, you can't really, expect everyone to be like you. But speaking of, from my perspective, I think complaining, like going on YouTube and just complaining is, obviously everyone has a right to complain, but I think it's just a waste of time. Like I'll never imagine myself going to someone's channel, watching a video, and just complain. Like if I dislike something, my option is to ignore. I simply just ignore. That's it, and move on. Really, but again, we're all different personality. Is that boat floating there? Is that boat moving? Yes, it does. Like I said, I just installed Gates to Sovngarde, and I don't know much about it because I love to discover what's new while playing, even though I have no idea when will I even play Skyrim, really. I actually, like I said, I do have a problem with many mod lists out there. It's not that, anyone can make a mod list however they want. You can turn your Skyrim, if you want, into Zelda game, into a Witcher game, into Dark Souls game, whatever. But a lot of mod lists on Wabajek, they kind of copy each other, they kind of look similar. And, oh, this mod list is famous or popular and uses this set of mods. I want to use that set of mods too. And you just end up with so many mod lists that kind of look really the same. And there's a certain style that people consider next gen or modern, which is often too clean, and it's just not how I imagine Skyrim to be, or even Bethesda did. If you play vanilla, and I have vanilla mod list, you can just feel the grittiness. Everything looks gritty and dirty and run down, right? Worn out. And I'll give you a nice example. There's this really big mod list, Elder Gleam, which I actually tested it on my main channel. It's next gen. At times it can be very realistic, like the flora, the plants. But then it just looks too clean. I'm not even talking about characters. I mean, the characters were just awful. Like that's a whole subgenre of that I can talk about is the character mods, NPC overhauls, which is, I think, pretty much ruined Skyrim modding for last 2 decades. The hair mods and face mods, I just don't understand. There's so many actually mod lists out there that visually look good in terms of landscapes. Like, not bad, They go for some realism, high definition and all that. And then you look at the characters, and they look like they came out of like a PlayStation 2 era, or anime. Like too clean, too plastic. Everyone looks like a supermodel. But I already talked about this, and this trend sadly caught up, and so many mod lists were just simply ruined by that. And there's another thing that happened on my recent Skyrim video. Actually, I think it was more serious. I was accused of stealing content, which is I couldn't believe. And that actually made me a little bit angry, a little bit upset. And I responded to this guy. I think it was a guy. I'm not sure. Basically, it was something like, how can I even explain? Well, in general, this person or individual accused me of literally copying someone else's video. And I think they even used the term word by word, which is insane, because literally one of the things that I enjoy the most is writing my own scripts. It's like one of my favorite parts of content creation. So when I heard that, it just, it kind of made me really bit upset, I have to be honest. That doesn't happen that often, but because when you didn't do something and someone accuses you of doing something you didn't do, and you just get frustrated. But yeah, apparently there is another YouTuber, and people wrote that Black Rose, which I never watched, and I'm gonna talk about that a little bit later. But there's this YouTuber, Elder Scrolls YouTuber, who I guess made video on Karita as well, and suggesting the same thing, that Karita might be an avatar of Kain. But it's kind of crazy that people can come out and just accuse you of all these kind of things. I actually, this is why I also said that in my response. I stopped watching other Elder Scrolls YouTubers. There's a lot of channels out there, right? When I before I actually even started, like on the early years. I remember there was Candleworks, Fudge Muppet, Epic Nate, right? Those were like the three main channels, and they've really, really influenced me. Like, I will never make Borean Knight channel, and it will never be in this style which it is now, without those channels. And I give them full credit, right? The idea you can write these essays and combine them with the cinematic shots of the game, you know, it's all from the Fudge Muppet and Camelworks, really. But I even don't watch them anymore, and the reason is because there's so many channels out there, you know, bigger, smaller, whatever, doesn't matter. And there's so many topics covered. I mean, there's not really many new things you can talk about Skyrim. You know, it's a kind of old game, and if I worried that I'm gonna cover a topic that someone else already covered, I will literally never talk about anything, because I will be constantly paranoid if someone already covered the topic. And on this concrete, you know, on this particular example about Karita, you know, if I went to this channel, I saw, oh, this guy already talked about Karita. Oh well, I guess I should not talk about this. It would just lead me nowhere, really. Because I think no one owns the copyright on the conspiracy theories. I never claimed that I'm the one who, you know, started this theory. It's actually, you know, if you go to my comments, you'll see many, many people said, oh yeah, when I played, I also thought that, you know, she's strange and she might be this or that. You know, all of us individually come up with the ideas and fan theories. So when I talk about Karita being Avatar kind, you know, I never even thought about that people will actually think that I invented this theory or I was the first one. That's not even the point. Let me wait till the morning. Just a second. I just want to be clear, really. I would never steal anyone's content. I think it'll be more hustle for me to, you know, search for YouTube channels, you know, find something interesting for me, and then, you know, copy the script, like how I will listen, and then write down. It's literally more hustle than me just sitting down and writing. Like Karita video, I believe it was like 5 word pages. It's easier for me to sit down and write 5 words, you know, of a script. 5 pages of the script. And like I said, I really enjoy writing. That's like one thing, even though I'm not a native English speaker, I enjoy writing. Like if I go to my Google Documents, I have like dozens upon dozens of like different files. It's like one of the things I enjoy the most. Besides editing, you know, writing script. Like every time I make a video, it's kind of like a parallel process. I do a little bit of writing of script and do a little bit like a footage recording, and you know, it's kind of parallel. But once I finish the script, you know, from the beginning to the end, that's the moment I know that the video will be, you know, finalized. Until I have a script finished, I'm never sure if if I even gonna finish the video in total. Anyways, I'm mumbling and rambling here too much, but yeah, I just want to address, you know, stealing content is ridiculous. And as for mods, I mean, again, like I said, you can never really satisfy everyone. Like right now, actually, I'm not sure what will be my next video. I don't have any idea. I mean, I have plenty of like ideas written down, but I haven't decided what to do next. And to be actually quite honest, when I started this channel and I made a couple of Morrowind analysis, actually someone sent me the link. It was one of the first, you know, fans of the channel. They sent me the Google link to the Google Documents with a whole bunch of like interesting Morrowind trivia and possible topics for videos. And this person actually gave me, you know, they gave me the permission to use them for my own videos. Like they suggested, oh, you know, this is all the things I came up with over the years, and you know, you can make videos on that. And I think I made a couple of Morrowind analysis videos they were influenced by, you know, the ideas from this person. But again, I was given permission. Actually, a couple of days ago, I think I read that there was a Elder Scrolls 6 leak on the 4chan. I don't go to 4chan, so I found it on I think one of the Facebook groups. Someone posted it, and there is apparently like a leak, and we know how it goes. Like these leaks are never reliable. But someone said that actually Fallout 4 leaked on 4chan as well, so you never know. Could be legit, you know. But anyways, the leak mentions how the game is set in Hammerfell. There's some interesting details, like cities will be open, and even some buildings will be open, meaning you can go in and out without loading screen, right? Except for some bigger, like palaces, bigger buildings, like they will still require loading. But going in and out of cities and most of the buildings will be, you know, seamless. They talk about some mechanics that will return, like your equipment needs repairmen, just how, you know, used to be in Morrowind. And what else? Yeah, there's also about fast travel. I believe there will be no like a fast travel, except, you know, using in-game, you know, options like I don't know, camels and ships, whatever, caravans, horses, those kind of things, which all sounds good on paper. So I kind of hope it's real. And regarding the Hammerfell location, I already made a video. Elder Scrolls 6 is in Hammerfell. Let's make it strange. And even there, I received a couple of comments. How do you know it's not gonna be Hammerfell? Blah blah. I cannot tell you how I know, but I do know it's Hammerfell, and I don't claim to know to have any kind of insider connection. I cannot also say how I know, but the way I learned was by accident, believe it or not, through someone who has connections, if that makes sense. So, yeah, I mean, it's been known that it's in Hammerfell for quite a long time. Now, if I'm lying to you, then those guys were lying as well. So, yeah, but it looks like it's in Hammerfell. I mean, it is. Anyways, so yeah, there was that leak, and what else I can mention before I go? Um, yeah, actually, oh my god, I think I should use this opportunity to basically say farewell to a fellow YouTuber. So Chris from the Grimdark channel, he was a friend of the channel. He used to leave comments on under my videos, like very nice comments, and he was making like a lore analysis videos of a Conan the Barbarian world and dark, grim, you know, grim fantasy, and they were very interesting stuff. And I'm a fan of Conan the Barbarian, of Robert E. Howard work, and that whole setting. I'm a really big fan of it, so I really enjoy his stuff. And I think he somehow discovered my channel, and he was leaving really nice comments over the years, once in a while. So we didn't know each other, but we kind of exchanged a few comments here and there. And about, I want to say maybe a year ago, a little bit more, he ended up in hospital and discovered cancer. And he was going through a really tough time over the year, spending most of the time in the hospital. And you know, last few months he sounded really bad, and you know, he will leave little community posts. And basically I was going back to his channel just to make sure he's okay. And unfortunately, I just discovered, like literally maybe yesterday, a couple of days ago, I went to his channel and people posted that he passed away, I believe on October 28th. That was, yeah. if you read through the post that he wrote, those last few posts, that was he went through a really really difficult time. But what's amazing is that he never complained. He never, asked for pity, or he always planned something to do next. He always worked on some new concepts, new ideas, to the last moment, and he had some of the most amazing narrations. Like his voice skills was on the professional level, really, really amazing. So yeah, Grimdark channel. That was. I kind of wish I actually. I kind of wish I talked to him more, because he was leaving these really nice comments under my videos, and last few posts where he wrote being in the hospital in pain, and sometimes you just feel like that's how I felt, at least. No matter what you write, it's not enough. It's not gonna help. And I wanted to write something to him, support. And honestly, I couldn't. I did leave a few messages before, but in the last few posts, I couldn't write anything because I felt nothing would just, make sense. And then sadly, it was too late. So I never really got to say anything to him. But it's crazy, this you meet these complete strangers online, and you feel like you kind of know them partially. Anyways, I hope he found peace. I'm really not good at words. So, yep. I think that's all I want to talk about. I have no idea when will I do any playthroughs. When I feel better and more recovered, I want to focus on the main channel and make videos. I really appreciate all of your support, really. It's been actually exactly 4 years since I started my own cancer treatment. I think the most difficult part is not knowing what to expect. Like, for the last 4 years, I just really couldn't plan anything. Which is one of the reasons I'm doing YouTube, because, you make content, you upload, keep you busy, keeps you occupied, but I'm gonna keep you guys updated. Thank you all for watching, really. I really, really appreciate all of your support, and take care, and I'll see you soon.